Hey YouTube, before we get into my first little holiday cup of tea, I'm going to talk about Smeargle for two reasons. One is it's banned now, so it probably should have been banned, but it wasn't banned in the write-up, but now people will try to use it and it's banned. So one of two things happened. Either they forgot to put it in the press, one of three things happened. One, they forgot to put it in the press, but it was supposed to be banned anyways. Two, it wasn't supposed to be banned, but they had decided to ban it because they looked at the rankings and finally thought like, oh yeah, this does make sense. Or three, it's not supposed to be banned and they screwed up and it's going to come back. So don't know which one it is yet. It may not be back. It may be back now. It may not be back now. But one thing I will say is I pinned my comment saying you can't TM Smeargle. I said you could, but you can't. So basically people have told me you basically need to snapshot a Ho-Ho or Typhlosion with Incinerate and Frustration and then hope you get Flying Press. And then yeah, basically you need to screenshot an Incinerate user with Frustration. Frustration can't be learned by Smeargle, so you get a random charge move, so it's a gamble. You should try doing it every day for the next time around. And someone else said you're more likely to see lock-on Smeargles because that's what a lot of people were doing last time with the Registeals, was a lock-on Smeargle to get that and Flying Press. So just keep that in mind if you do see them or if you want to get one. But Ducklett, Pika Libre, and Lantern Water Gun. So basically I started with Pika Libre. I think I started with like double electric, but maybe not Lantern. I would actually use Chinchou. I use Lantern, but you probably should use Chinchou if you want to use this kind of strategy. But it's a double electric. Now you try and draw out a grass or a ground, and then Ducklett as the flying water will beat the grass and the ground. And then the other one roams free. Pika Libre is so strong. Thunder Punch did get buffed. But Flying Press is still a wave. I think I mistakenly throw Thunder Punch once. Flying Press in a neutral situation just hits wave harder damage and pure damage and damage per energy. So you probably should always go that. I mean, if you have one, if you don't have one, well then get good so you can get one. Just kidding, sort of. You can always trade for them if people are willing to get rid of them. But I do not. I keep all my Pika Libres. Anyways, let's take a look at the battles. See how it goes. I had Aerial Ace on Ducklett for a couple, so you're going to see probably Aerial Ace Brave Bird at the beginning here. But I just found that like Bubble Beam quicker is better baiting sort of thing. So I use Lantern for the most turn as a safe swap. Chilling up the move because I didn't know what it was and I didn't want to take a super effective move. The Water Guns and Surfs really do add up. And if you pull out a ground, like they see the electric and they come out as a ground and you are Water Gun Lantern, you put yourself in a pretty good situation. So I grabbed a shield. They've already grabbed a shield, so I'm gonna let this go. Parabolic Charge does a ton of damage, but so does Water Gun. Again, I kind of mentioned that a lot of moves just do. I said most charge moves do like 50% if they're like neutral, not hard hitting moves, but Parabolic Charge, even resisted here, would do a ton. And I try to commit to the farm down. This is okay. You may be wondering what happened there. Well, what happened here is a visual glitch that you're going to see throughout. Let me know if you are getting this glitch too. So this Pokemon is taken out here. It is, you can see it being gone there, and it's taken out here. So now I'm loaded with energy. Here comes the first Flying Press, and that plus the Thunder Shock one-shots, but they still just kind of stick around for some reason. And then I go, here's where I go Thunder Punch, but again, you don't need to go Thunder Punch here. You don't need to bait. They're 5-4, 5-4. They're the same. So just go Flying Press, and Pika Libre is just sweeping here. It is a very strong Pokemon. It's always been strong in metas like this. So, yeah, just keep that in mind if you're thinking about using that. Or if you don't have one, just be aware on the other end that it is very strong but glassy. So I got into, so they drift on the lead, got into the Lantern. They kind of hesitated, so now I'm going to get a Surf off on the Dusclops. And I think when I said 50% damage, it's basically the baby versions, which have just okay-ish moves. So like a first evolution doing Body Slam or Weather Ball, like those do 50%. If you're an evolved Pokemon like Lantern with Surf, or if you're like a Flying Press Pika Libre, like those do way more than 50% health damage. So just keep that in mind. So the only problem with Pika Libre is very glassy. And Drift, I don't think I have a Drifloon. But I saw so many Drifloons today, and it is a very strong Pokemon. Yeah, it is a very strong Pokemon. So if you have one, I would recommend kind of using it, just because I think it has Astonish. It really hits hard. I think this is, yeah, I probably switched to Bubble Beam after this, and it's probably this matchup where I'm like, oh, I wish I just had Bubble Beam to bait and lower the attack and hit super effective here. And now they're going to get to another move where I probably could have got to a second Bubble Beam first. And so then I'm going to lose this matchup, and that's when I basically switched it. So we'll take this out with Flying Press, but then I'm not going to be able to take out their Pokemon before they, I think, astonish me down. Yeah, because look how much that chips. I'm not going to get the move here. So straight into Lantern, they kind of pause a bit. And this is the strength of Lantern, right? What if you see a grass? Well, look how much this is doing. I actually probably should have gotten Double Surf here. This is my mistake. I go Thunderbolt, and it takes them to the red, but I could have gotten Double Surf and probably taken them out here because I don't get to another move. So I think I should have gotten Double Surf. But, you know, I'll come Wing Attack. I'll shield because, again, this grass move would hurt from a Cottony. So start shielding. And look how much those fast moves are done. And that takes it out, but you don't see that because of the stupid game. Now we got the Bubble Beam. So here comes lowering of the attack, plus a good amount of chip. And in the back is a Fletchinder. So I'm throwing the first Thunder Punch. But it's almost like, well, yeah, I'm at 2 moves, so I guess it's not in just farm down range. Like I need to grab a shield here. And I take it out, which is kind of a weird play. I thought they would double shield here because now it's in fast move range. They get the deny, the 1-turn deny. So I should have got a fast move through there, but I did not because this game sucks. So now I got to commit to the farm down, and I get it, but you can't see that because they still have 1 HP and they're still alive, but they did get taken out. What a weird glitch. Let me know if you're getting that too. I don't know why. Okay, so I'm baiting here. It just seems as someone who always says never bait, in a little cup, you have the ability to bait much more. Just because of how much every move does. And look at these fast, like these are fast move wing attacks taking a Wiggly down to the yellow, right? So the fast moves do add up quite a bit. That Brightbird obviously does take him out, even though they're still just standing there. Dunsparce comes in, and now you're just going to get the speed of Pika Libre here. 5-4, 5-4 on a 2-turn move, which means it comes very, very quick, these moves. And these Flying Presses hurt a ton, and they hurt even more on a normal typing. So we both get to move at the same time. I'm going to win CMP. Will take this out with a 1-shot here. Goodbye, Dunsparce. Yes, it got taken out, even though it's just kind of sitting there. Pikachu comes in, and it will be hit with another Flying Press. And again, just an absolute nuke. Takes it out. They're still standing, but they're gone. Skarmory. So Skarmory, I have 2 electrics, so I'll come into 1 right away and get hit with I'm going to show my Italian background here. It's either Mincino or Minchino. That seems to be running Charm. So I was like, okay, shielding because 1, shield everything in this meta. 2, if they're running Charm and like a Skarmory in the lead, they may have like another fast attack Pokemon in the back. And 3, I can flip switch to Pikachu here. But again, look how much these resisted moves are adding up. I don't really want to take this move. Pika Libre is so glassy. This thing is a shadow. Resisted or not, it would really chunk. And now it's a Sandshrew in the back, and I just have back-to-back Flying Presses already. Just the speed of this thing is crazy. I'm sorry if you don't have one. It feels like an absolutely dominant Pokemon in this meta. So will back-to-back Flying Press take it out. And now just going for the Thundershock down. They're not going to get the move, so take them out. There. Okay. Chinchou's kind of a core breaker. Not a core breaker, but it really hurts, and then I get hit with Cottony. So I'm screwed. Like, this game is basically a top left already. And you're going to get some of these if you try this team. Like, you could, instead of using Lantern, I mean, if you have Pika Libre, please use it because it's so strong. But if you want to go Ducklett, Pika Libre, and then like a safe swap, that would probably play better than this team, honestly. Why did I put this team together then? I put this team together because I just did not want to build up any Pokemon yet. I will probably build up like an Annihilate to test out. But for the most part, I'm just going to try and run with what I have for the first couple days, and then check out the views, and then figure out where I want to go from there. And they come in with their ducklets here. So we have a very, very, very similar team. Both have ducklets. Both have another. They have Chinchou, so it's Chinchou Lantern. And they just go straight Brave Bird, but I'm just throwing resisted water guns. But I think I make mistakes. I get out here. Probably should just keep farming. They just went back to back. So I probably could just come into the farm dome, but I come in here and go up switch, thinking I can wing attack down, but then they come in here and snipe, and then Chinchou's just going to wipe up with shield advantage here. So I probably should not have played it the way I did here. So they are going to take me out here. Goodbye, Lantern. Okay, Ducklett into Diggersby. So this is great. It's ground. Our back is weak to ground, and I have a flying. So I come in here with super effective Thunder Shocks, but holy crap. Look at how much these Astonishes are doing. I'm just going to confirm that it is Astonish on this Pokemon here. I'm almost positive it's Astonish, because that move is absolutely chunking here. Yeah, Astonish. It's only ranked 1. Drifloon? Actually, that's Drifblim. Drifloon Shadow is 156, and the non-Shadow is 209. But seriously, that damage on those Astonishes is crazy. So out comes the Diggersby. I'll just Brave Bird it. Diggersby is, even though it's not a high level, it is pretty high ranked here. And out comes Galvantula. Luckily, that Galvantula has, I don't know if it's lucky, it has a bug type fast move, so they're not, electric would be neutral as well, so it's not too big of a deal here. But I'm going to shield because I'm just basically need to chip this to within Thunder Shock range or take this out. So we're doing a ton of damage here. I do take it out, even though you can just see it standing, and then they quit. So this visual glitch is very annoying, but it is what it is. Geodude, kind of a core breaker. Luckily, I was able to chip a ton with the Lantern before they finally got out. So took it down to 50% because that is going to be potentially very useful. So grab one shield. Yeah, it's funny. This is the first, and I can't tell whether it's just because people had this from before and they're just all using it now. Because how many battles have we done here and how many have I seen? Like, I've probably seen like 3 or 4 Drifloons already. And that's not normal for a Pokemon. Again, there's 2 things that define the meta: content creators and pvpoke. So for this to be, and I get to deny the fast move here, which actually makes me win this, right? Yeah, I should not have got this move off. I denied them. I didn't deny them. The game denied them. And I superpower, so now I flip switch here, and then I can just go Brave Bird here, even though it's Steel. Brave Bird for the win here. What was I saying? I don't know. This is the problem when you jump around too much with your thoughts. Anyways, a 60% health on a Steel Pokemon does not matter in the Baby Cup. Actually, this isn't a true Baby Cup because you're allowed evolutions. We used to call it a Baby Cup because in Little Cups of past, you weren't allowed evolved Pokemon. So it was truly all Ducklets and Cottonies and Litleos and Vulpix in the Baby Cup. But now in these Little Cups, you are allowed evolved Pokemon. It's the little represents the 500 CP as opposed to like first evolution Pokemon. Because now you're going to get Lanturns, you're going to get Diggersbys, you can get like any evolved Pokemon. But before, back in the day, it was just first evolutions. And with a shield advantage, so if you don't have Pika Libre, I present to you Flying Balloon Pikachu with Wild Charge, grabbing a shield from me here, and then winning CMP apparently against my Pika Libre, and landing another Wild Charge that takes me out from 70% health. So, if you do not have a Pika Libre, It seems like some of these other Pikachus do just as well, and I think some of them are actually ranked quite high. Yeah, so the 5th anniversary. I think this is the 5th anniversary one, or flying. Yeah, 5th anniversary of flying Pikachu with Wild Charge and Fly. Thundershock, Wild Charge, Fly. Pika Libres are ranked 16th. These are ranked 23 and 24, and you just saw why. 5 Thundershocks to get to a Wild Charge, 120 damage on that Wild Charge. So just nuke the crap out of people with that. So now we are in a Lanturn versus Chinchou matchup. Again, I think Chinchou's quite strong, but it's not strong when they just go Bubble Beam 3 times in a row. And I don't know why they did it. Maybe they're just a single move Chinchou. I'm still at rank, what am I at, 17? Because I did not play for the last 6 days. I did a couple battles I did like a few in the Ultra League, a few in the Cup, got a couple videos, and then showcased your videos / did like some other videos. But yeah, I did not play for like the last 6 days here. So I am a little behind, but that is okay. We're not in a rush. They try and snipe me with Ducklett. Running Aerial Ace. So I'm going to get the Brave Bird off here. And then if I get the Brave Bird off here, I can easily bait a Bubble Beam here, which I'm exactly going to do because Wing Attack is super effective. This will lower their attack, which I think is going to be very, very valuable on the Pika Libre. And they shield because they're worried about this and not the Pika Libre. But I do chip them to 50%. And now you're just going to see the Spamminess and Bubbled lower their attack. So they're not going to charm me down that easy. And putting them 50%. And the speed of this thing, 10 to the first flying press, 8 to the second. Back-to-back moves here. Can very easily just go back-to-back for the win. Because even though it's resisted, it's still going to do like 35-40% because everything does a ton in this meta. And that is the first team. Please send me some battles because I am not going to be able to go through this that fast. Maybe I should bring let me just do this. I mean, this is just me. Let's bring the leaf above the droid camp so we can hide that. There we go. Now that I'm not as bothered. Okay. Anyways, that is it. Thank you for your comments on my video yesterday about the Smeargle. Explaining that, and thank you for your engagement on this Pokemon Go has an innovation problem video that I put out because you have just looking I'm reading a lot of the comments and just looking at the comments here, like the average video does not get many comments. In fact, if I look at the videos for the last week, it's like 30 comments, 20 comments, 32 comments. 57 is a little higher with the team building one, but then it's 28 and 18 and 22. And then we're at 92 comments on this one, and it's going to probably go much, much higher by the time I wake up. And I think a lot of you are on my side. I think a lot of you are also feeling what I'm feeling. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to do what are the days like this year? I think New Year's is on Wednesday, so I probably won't do it Wednesday, and then we'll do top teams 31st. So let's just say on the 30th. Yeah, let's say on the 30th before. We're going to do a yearly wrap-up. I like doing these even though they don't get a ton of views. Because there's a lot I want to talk about life and the channel and good and bad and everything of the year. So the 30th of December, we'll do like a year-long wrap-up. Where it's gonna be I think a long video, but it's gonna talk about a lot between everything from state of the game, state of the channel, just life and stuff like that. So if you want to check that out, that'll come out on the 30th. Otherwise, we're gonna have a lot of little cup teams coming your way, and I think there is a lot of actual usable Pokemon in this cup. So I'm not as worried about that. Yeah, I'm not as worried about not having Pokemon for this because I feel like there are a lot of usable Pokemon for this. I'm gonna be using Sandshrew on my next team. I asked you guys to submit, so I'm gonna check those out. Maybe we'll do one this afternoon if there's any in the submission box. Link in the description if you want to submit. Anyways, that's enough talking. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.